Call the meeting to order of the Water Allocation Committee. Roll call.
Commissioner Corman,
Present.
Commissioner Myrick,
Here.
Commissioner Mewis,
Here. For the record, we have a quorum.
we have a quorum.
So we'll move on to public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the committee on matters within the jurisdiction of the city of Seaside, but not on this agenda, may do so during the public comment period for up to 3 minutes. For the public record, please state your name. Not seeing any public comment. Public comment is closed. Move on to business. Water Allocation Committee application number WAC 2024-001. Shote Property Management LLC, property owner and the applicant request a 0.454 acre feet of water for a change of use from retail to event center at 510 Broadway Avenue within the 500 and 510 Broadway Avenue site. APN 011-303-013 and 011-303-014 in the mixed use zone of the West Broadway Urban Village specific plan area. The project is categorically exempt Class 3 from the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to Section 15303 of the CEQA guidelines.
Good afternoon, members of the committee. My name is Eric Azriel, Associate Planner, and I'll be making a presentation on the application. I also will note that Ahmed Mir helped create this presentation. Okay, next slide, please. It is not working. There we are. So we are here today to discuss a allocation of 0.454 acre feet of water to a project in the West Broadway Urban Village specific plan area, which is at 510 Broadway Avenue. This is the location of the project. I'm going to point out a couple of things. This is a two-parcel project that's going to be combined into a single parcel of 500 Broadway is over here on the left-hand side, the west. 510 Broadway is on the right. And the project itself is going to happen in 510 Broadway, but because of the way the project was permitted and the way it's going to be constructed, it is considered a single site. 500 Broadway has a nightclub. This is existing, was permitted back in 2019, and an approved event center that was permitted about a year ago. The event center is going to be internally connected to the nightclub and have various events that will be open for locals to rent. 500 Broadway is not proposing to change their water use. They're an existing Group 2 water use per the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District. And 510 Broadway Avenue would be changing from a Group 1 water use, which is retail, to a Group 2 water use, which was the determination made by the MPWMD. We are here because Seaside Municipal Code 13-.24 requires the Water Allocation Committee hear an application for allocation of water, and it's done on a points basis. The points are determined by revenue generated, jobs created, whether the project is on a major thoroughfare, if there's any removal of blight, and if any businesses will be retained that would otherwise disappear. If the project earns 20 earned points, then the Water Allocation Committee allocates water and has the discretion to determine how much water. In the small commercial allocation account, there are approximately 4.5 acre feet of water remaining. And tonight we are looking at allocating 0.454 acre feet. Next, I'm going to go through those categories of points to show what staff's interpretation is of how many points would be awarded to this project to see if it reaches the 20 points. So first, we have how much water is needed. We're showing the floor area of each site. This is the current amount of water plus 0.454 yields 1.175. And here is the revenue generated. Per the applicant, taxable sales are about 18,000. And the property value is about 1.4 million. Doing the math on that, it ends up about $2,700 to the city, which equates to 1 point received. The applicant says that they will be creating 4 part-time jobs and 2 full-time jobs, and each of those is worth worth a certain number of points, totaling 6. For blight, when a property is rehabilitated, there are certain points awarded for doing that rehabilitation. The 510 Broadway has been vacant for a while, but it is an existing building, which would earn a total of 3 points. And adding all of the points together, that yields a total of 22 points, which is above the minimum required in order to receive a water allocation. The project is categorically exempt, class 3, because this is an existing use, and it would be a change in use. It would not be an increase in floor area or an intensification. Staff does recommend that committee determine the project merits 22 points and therefore is eligible for water and then allocates 0.454 acre feet of water. And that concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you for the presentation. In the slides, you have, when you're going over the summary of the points, what is the rubric for the business retention? You didn't get into that one. It just says 7 points. Is that a standard for the business retention, or is there a specific set that we would go from?
You have your agenda on page 31. It has a chart. And on that chart, it talks about business retention. If the business would no longer exist if the water is not going to be awarded. And the proprietor of this business has said that with the money that they have put in, if the event center does not proceed, their restaurant would close.
Okay. Other questions? We'll take it out to public comment. Our public comment is closed. What is the will of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that the board agree with the 22 points and approve the allocation of the 0.454 acre feet of water for this project.
Yeah, second the motion.
My question? You know? This is roll call vote. Roll call vote. Just roll call. Just ask us and we'll vote.
Commissioner
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis,
Yes,
Commissioner Corman,
Yes.
the motion carries. All right. And we'll move on. Staff communication. Seeing none. We will move to adjournment. Thank you.